Perhaps the best karate practitioner to ever cross into mixed martial arts. Here is the two-time UFC welterweight title challenger, South Carolina native Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Really one of the nicer guys on the roster, but not a guy you want to get cracked in the face by, whether it's his punches or his kicks. The grappling has started to catch up to the striking. Scary, scary welterweight here in contender Stephen Wonderboy Thompson.
This guy has some of the best guard passing in all of mixed martial arts. His technique and the speed of his execution is outstanding.
Here is the UFC middleweight champion, Georges St. Pierre, walked away from the game after a 12th consecutive win in defense of his title against Johnny Hendricks in 2013, returned to the octagon in 2017. This is one of the most dominant takedown artists in UFC history. Stand-up skills as well, an outstanding jab, and he's back on the big stage tonight.
Georges St. Pierre is one of the top athletes in the sport. Great speed, great strength, and extremely talented. He's got world-class skills on his feet or on the ground, and he has dominated so many guys with his wrestling.
Our tale of the tape for this highly anticipated welterweight fight. The American is 34. The Canadian is 36. Thompson is 1 inch taller. GSP will have a 1 inch reach advantage. All right, now for the introductions, we go to Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC welterweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, the karate fighter, holding a professional record of 14 wins, 3 losses, and 1 draw. He stands 6 feet tall, weighing in at 170 pounds. Fighting out of Simpsonville, South Carolina, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson! And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record of 26 wins, 2 losses. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing in at 170 pounds. Fighting out of Montreal, Quebec, Canada, ladies and gentlemen, presenting the former UFC welterweight champion, Georges St. Pierre. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the octagon is Herb Dean.
Herb Dean has drawn the assignment here.
Ready to fight? Ready.
We are underway.
Georges St. Pierre is one of the very best fighters to ever fight in the UFC. He's the greatest welterweight champion in the history of the sport and one of the best wrestlers to ever compete in mixed martial arts. He's also fantastic at mixing up wrestling and striking and being unpredictable in his attacks.
Joe, your thoughts on what we might see here early?
A big part of the success of Georges St. Pierre are his takedowns. His opponents know. Oh! Beautiful takedown.
Now connects with a right.
There we go, north-south position. It looks like he's hunting for an arm here. He's got his arm pinned down. That arm looks locked to me.
He might get a finish here.
This Kimura is getting very tight. He might be forced to tap here. This is close. Strength and technique, perfect technique. Great job, didn't waste any time, took this fight to the ground and got the early submission.
Yeah, Joe, we could barely get the Fight Clock sponsor out, and the submission comes here in round 1. He said he didn't want to waste a lot of time. He knew his opponent would know what was coming. It was going to be takedown attempts in bunches, but he couldn't stop the early shot, and he certainly couldn't stop the submission. So great effort and even better technique here tonight.
And let's watch it here one more time. Deep submission and the tap.
So a seminal moment for him here tonight, Joe Rogan, as he gets the win by way of submission. Certainly one of the bigger wins of his career, and as big a statement as he could have made here tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Herb Dean is going to stop to this contest at 1 minute, 56 seconds in the very first round. Declaring the winner by tap out due to a Kimura, George Rush St. Pierre!
C'est bon. Outstanding performance out of the UFC middleweight champion, George St. Pierre, here tonight. Really hard to find anything that you would quantify as a glaring weakness when you watch this guy perform. And once again, GSP steals the show, closes the show here tonight. That is one hell of a fighter right there.